work at your craft regardless, so that when you finally meet that person and they're like, okay, well, show me what you got, then you can be like, with confidence, be like, yeah, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is what I've got to offer the world. You just do it, and then you find your own voice, and you find your own way and your own style. I can't teach you how to write. Like, you've got that yourselves. You know how to write, I guess, instinctively. I don't know if you're familiar with like UK garage and house and stuff like this, but it's like two-step with like funky chords and stuff like that. Like every time I play or I do something or I hear a beat, I would sing, and so I would start writing my own songs on the tracks, because again, I didn't really know that you would go and get somebody to write a song for you or with you. It was just like, you just have to do it yourself. Whatever you gotta do, you just gotta do it. We set up goals, right, in life. I mean, I certainly do, or I certainly used to, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make music, and then my music's gonna come out, and then I'll be happy. And the music comes out, and then suddenly you're like, okay, that's great, but then what's next? And then you're like, well, if I have a number one or if I have a gold record, surely that's it, I've made it. And then that happens, and then suddenly you're like, oh, that was just that. Then, okay, so what do you do? I mean, the truth is, if you're really just passionate about the music and you love what you do, it's never going to necessarily, you're going to chase those number ones and those successes and those things. Of course, you want the recognition, right? That's what you do. You want to validate yourself, and you want to be validated. But the real success is just being able to actually carry on doing what you love and just making music, over and over again, and making music that you really love doing, because there's nothing better than being in the studio and hearing something that you've made and thinking, yes, I don't really care what happens with that. Of course, I would love it, if it won a Grammy, but, if it doesn't, shit, I had a great day. That's the real success for me. That's what I really like. But it's been difficult a couple of times, because you have a big number one or a big record, and then you feel like people look at you in a different way, and they expect something from you, and they expect for you to do it again and again, and you're like, I can't do that again. That was a magical moment that happened. Like, that piece of creation, that was there and then in that room. Like, you can't ask me to do it again. I don't know how. Like, simply, it's just like, I don't think about, it's not mathematical for me. I know music, there is some math, of course, but, being creative, you can't duplicate, the magic moments, basically. I tend to just, like, wherever I am, whether it's in the studio, whether it's at home, whether I'm walking down the street, something might trigger inspiration. That's just how it works. When I'm in the studio, I just turn on the computer and I just start playing keys or playing drums. I don't really think. There's no list, When I make music for myself, at least, it's just, I just experiment and see what happens. I got this little keyboard, and then I would be in my bedroom and I would try to replay the piano riffs that I'd heard in like happy hardcore songs or things like that. So I taught myself how to play. Because again, I really didn't know or think about music theory or anything like that. I had no idea. To me, I was just listening to music, and I wanted to make it. I wanted to be part of it, but I didn't know how. Just always just persevere. Persevere, just do your thing, just go online, read tutorials, find out how to meet people, how to make connections in the music industry. It's all about connections. It's perseverance. Perseverance, trying to put yourself at the right place at the right time. I know that sounds strange, and it's like, how do you do that? Again, you might go to a gig one night and stand next to somebody, and they might be the manager of the band, or they might be the manager of this, and you might strike a conversation with them, and then, what's important, I guess, is for if you find yourself in those moments when you have the opportunity or you have like the luck factor, and then is to sort of be prepared in a way. So, if you have, just work at your craft regardless, so that when you finally meet that person and they're like, okay, well, show me what you got, then you can be like, with confidence, be like, yeah, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is what I've got to offer the world. The good thing is, with the internet, you don't have to, like go necessarily to a different place to be able to work with artists from over there. You might make a connection on YouTube. You might make a cover of someone, of an artist in another country. They might see your work and they might love it, and then you might do a collaboration, you know, stuff like that. That's very real. That happens right now. You know, a lot of people do things like that. You might reach out to an artist on Instagram, you know, in the DMs, and that artist might be really cool, and they might actually go and look at your page, and they might reply to you, you know. It happens. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it does happen. For me, it's important to go there. I like to go there. I want to know the people, because it's a very people-based, it's, you know, when you write with someone, the magic really sometimes, it happens when you're in the room with someone, you know. Same with management, same with labels. You might strike a connection. The human connection is for me, is, you know, 80, if not 90% of everything.